Okay, guys, welcome to a Wrestleslam special. We're joined with the full crew, and we are all quite busy, but yes, everyone is here today. We're going to go through favorite matches, wrestler of the year. We can even mention botches, promos of the year, all that kind of stuff. But it's going to be a bit of fun. It's been a crazy year. Personally, for me, I've enjoyed a lot of it, but there's been a lot of shite on the TV as well. I think everyone will agree with that, and we're completely honest here at WrestleSlam. We don't really fuck about. We just get straight to the points, and that's why people love us. And it's been a crazy year for us. Obviously, look, pandemics, things open up. Shows have been good, shows have been bad. Pay-per-views have been good, pay-per-views have been bad. There's been a lot of ins and outs. Yeah, look, it's been a fucking mad year. Liz is
eventually we'll make a blooper show and this will be on.
Look, we're just gonna say it how it is, and that's it. But yeah, look, it's been a mad year. It's been an absolute blur for me personally, and no doubt for all of you as well. But yeah, look, 12 months down the Swanee. But yeah, we're still here. We're still standing. We're good. And that's all that matters. So
all right, though, come down now.
I'm going to go first of all, right? I'm going to go straight into it, right? So I'm going to start off with favorite match of the year, right? I think that's a good topic.
Yeah.
A lot of good matches, a lot of shit matches. But look, Phil Connolly, what has been your match of the year? There's been a lot. I'm going to go straight to you.
There's probably been too many.
You have to pick one. We can only pick one, unfortunately. I think that's why we're all on the spot here today.
Yeah, on the spot now.
I'm going to do a special mention to the Iron Man match on Impact. That's not my pick, though, but that's... but probably Danielson and Omega, to be honest.
So All Elite Wrestling, Omega and Danielson. And what did you like about the match in general? Obviously, look, it was a 5-star match.
Yeah, it was just fun. It was just a fun, really, really good match. Really, really good match.
Yeah. Good stuff. Matt Murphy, what was your match of the year? Look, there's been a lot. We covered a lot over all the episodes throughout the year. What was your match of the year for 2021?
Yeah, so there's been so many matches I can choose from. So I'm just going to choose one. It has to be with that one wrestler facing that one wrestler. Remember when he did that move, it was amazing. So yeah, that much. But anyway, we have to rush on, unfortunately. Has to be round 2 of Walter versus Dragunov at NXT TakeOver. Yeah, 36. When we were chatting about what's our best matches, literally I was looking over what was the best matches, and I keep thinking of that match. Look back on the highlights. I remember I watched this, the build up for 10 months. We were not jinxing it. We were like, oh, let's hope it's not going to be as good, not as be as good. But it was amazing. It was back and forth. Walter just showing how dominant he is, and Dragunov showing how he is the underdog and how he pulled through. So it was just, I'm a sucker for back and forth matches. And this is the last match I can think of that I didn't mind who would win. This is just amazing. And yeah, dare I say, probably one of the only last few NXT good matches now. But gonna have to go with that. That's my favorite match. Walter versus Dragunov, NXT TakeOver 36.
Solid call. Mick, what's your take on favorite match of the year?
Yeah, those two matches, the Dragunov Walter match and the Danielson Omega match, are both my short list, but I'm going to go with something a little bit different. I'm going to go with Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks in Steel Cage match at All Out. That was just had absolutely everything. Great spots. There was the great result in the end, but more so than anything else, it's been a long time since I felt that emotional watching a match. And I think the emotion builds through that match in a way that can be hard to do in a lot of wrestling matches. And the crowd were with it. We're on that emotional roller coaster with those wrestlers. And when Lucha Brothers got that win at the very end, the place just exploded. And yeah, that's my pick for this year.
What solid call. The duo, Liz and Jor. Look, it's been a mad year. A lot of stuff happening. But look. Who I know you might have individual picks, but you might have the same pick. I know you watch everything together, but look,
we didn't discuss it now.
I was like, stop copying me.
This could turn into controversy, but look, Liz, what's your pick for match of the year 2021?
I'm with Matt. Mine was also Walter and Dragunov Part 2. Again, I was just so invested in it, and there was just so much going on. I was just glued. I just loved it. I thought it was fabulous. And an honorable mention also for the match that Mick called as well. For the steel cage match with the tag teams, because again, from a wrestling standpoint, Walter and Dragunov, but as mixed in from an emotional investment point of view, the steel cage match, because I hung on every single thing that happened in that match, and sometimes you just don't want it to end. And there's a very fine line between too many false finishes where it becomes farcical, but to where it becomes you actually really, really felt it was a false finish, and that match had it all in spades. So close call, but the boys to the first in the steel cage for the honourable mention.
I love it. I love it. So we have two favouring Dragunov Walter. That's pretty cool. I like that. Now, I must say that was a great match. Jor, are you gonna sign?
Make it three. Make it three.
Did you go for that too?
I did because it lived up to the hype of the first match. The first match was incredible, and it didn't get enough. It wasn't in front of a live crowd. It didn't get the. A lot of people were talking about it, but nobody actually really watched it. They went back and watched highlights of it. So to get to see it properly live, and this time Dragunov beating Walter, that title reign was epic, and the way he beat him, lifting him off his fucking feet by the neck and everything, and him tapping out was just amazing. And it kind of made Dragunov, although he's gone back to NXT UK and he's not been seen again properly on TV. I hope to do something with him in 2022, and then talk of Walter coming to the main roster. So the match kind of made both of them. Walter was already made, but to be there on a takeover stage and show what they can both do, that's what done it for me. Like the first match, it could have fell flat on his feet, but it lived up to the hype of the first match. So definitely that match for me.
The pressure for that match must have been huge, because I'd say people had word of mouth for the first match because it was so good. As you were saying, not a lot of people saw it because that was during pure lockdown pandemic, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. And nobody saw, but everybody heard about it. So then the pressure must have been intense for that second match to live up to the hype of the first match, and they absolutely did, if not maybe slightly surpass it. So 100%. Yeah.
It does set up something for the future. They're going to face off again, perhaps at a Mania or something. It's going to happen. It has to happen.
What about yourself, Jerry? What is your match of the year?
Yeah, I'm a cheesy bastard in this state of my life. 33 years old. I like to cheddar these days, but I think Hangman Page beating Omega for me at All Out. I like that moment. I think just Hangman's journey, we didn't know if he was going to win or not. I think the whole story, I liked it. I think All Out, Omega, Hangman Page, it was a beautiful pay-per-view, and I will go for that one. That was my one. So,
Jerry, you should have saved that one for the Moment of the Year award. What are you doing? You're giving away your cards.
I know, but I had to. We have to be honest here at WrestleSlam. You have to be honest. You have to put yourself on the line. You know what I mean? There might be bullets fired at me outside, but look, you have to do it. But no, yeah.
That's what happens when you become a daddy to a girl. You see, everything now is everything now is lovey-dovey and mushy. Ooh, you look
until Radio shows up the door.
Yeah.
Bad Boys 2 happens all over again.
Oh yes, I like that.
This motherfucker.
I was just trying to do a poor smell of Dragunov for the match of the year. I don't know how he does it, but something similar to this, so not bad.
Yeah, no. So that was a match of the year cover, guys. WrestleSlam. There you go. That's our takes. Tag team of the year. Interesting topic. It has been the year of tag teams, in my opinion. We have seen a lot of tag teams fuck off from WWE to AEW. It's kind of worked to their advantage, I think. You know what I mean? We're seeing AEW kind of shining with tag teams. Impact deserves a mention as well. Also, it's a sad year for Ring of Honor because, look, we know that has come to a closure. We will get to that towards the end of the show. But, Liz, I'm going to go to you. Tag team of the year. Who do you pick? And what company are you going to side with when you pick your tag team?
It galls me, right? Oh, Jesus. All right. So I'm going to be absolutely the controversial one, but sure, look, why change now in life? What's the point? Honorable mention to Club Rock Shandy. Lovely Irish tag team. Honorable mention to Club Rock Shandy because, you can't beat it. You can never beat a bit of that. And they always lift my spirits when I go to see them live. So honorable mention for Club Rock Shandy. But my controversial pick is the Usos. Now I know everyone was like the box and everyone was like this, that, but I think that them forming this bloodline with Roman Reigns, it's been stewing for quite a while, and I honestly think that was going to be the either make or break, you know, the whole bloodline. And I think that they kind of really stepped up to it, because they're a very, very reliable tag team, very strong tag team, great chemistry, always will give a good match. But this, I think, was a challenge for them, and I really think they raised their game, and I think they are adding layers upon layers to the bloodline, because we've been questioning all year whether one's going to turn on Roman, whether the other's going to turn on Roman, are they going to win the titles, or they're not going to win the titles. So I know there are obvious picks, but for me, from a workhorse point of view and just kind of an outside contender, mine was the Usos. Or WWE.
Good call. I like that one. Jor, are you going to opt Usos, or are you going to go on a different path?
No, I have to go. It's pretty obvious one, the Bucks. They've grown on me over the last 12 months. Like, when we first started watching AEW, we seen bits of them, and then these, like, and they were just, flippy doopy guys and super kick boys. But I'm addicted to watching Being Elite now on YouTube every Monday. Like, we watch it all the time. Like, so I've grown to love them as, what they're like, not just on AEW, like, but just on their own stuff. Like, and they've got onto my brain of me looking for sneakers, and I can't find a pair of Air Jordans anywhere in Ireland. So I ended up going for Shaq fucking sneakers instead. But yeah, some of their matches this year have been epic. They very rarely put on bad matches, whether it's part of the tag team or a part of their factions or whatever. Like, they always put on a good show, and they know what they're doing. They know people, on the other side don't like them. They're all flippy dappy, and they play up to it on Twitter all the time. So they don't give a fuck. They just go out and do their thing. So for me, it's them, Bucks.
Good call. Mick, I see the nod of approval. So who have you got for your tag team of 2021 via WrestleSlam?
They're not nods of approval. I'm just being courteous.
He's one of them. He's
one of
them.
God. Oh my God.
I'm actually gonna go like Liz. I'm gonna go against the grain and go with a team from the Fed, but not the Usos. I'm gonna go with the New Day.
Yeah.
Purely from a kayfabe perspective. Woods and Kingston have matched Sheamus and Cesaro's record for most Raw tag team reigns this year. Xavier Woods won King of the Ring, and let's not forget Big E won Money in the Bank and won the WWE Championship. I don't see how it could be anyone else apart from New Day.
No, I love it. That's
sweet.
You can't argue that. To be honest, I don't think anyone can argue that. Like, they are workhorses, and they have been, like, their brand alone, merchandise wise, is probably the biggest. I think they're the highest selling merches of all time.
In the independent wrestling, yeah.
That's some feat to have.
Yeah.
Matt Murphy, what's your take, and who is your tag team of 2021 via WrestleSlam?
I actually was going to go with the Saviors. Actually, we saw it in Phoenix. I thought, what? They're great. But then,
Did you see the promo they put out, Matt? Yeah?
I did not see the promo they put out yet, Jared.
It is epic.
I was going to say them, but then they almost knocked me out of my seat. So I'm going to have to change my mind on that one. So sorry, lads, for that one. But this is going to be a bit of a controversial pick. Going to have to go with WWE about this one. I'm actually going with RK Bro.
Fucking hell.
I know, a bit of a controversial pick. I know.
Hell is right.
Bro.
Bro, indeed. I'm just going with them because, well, to get something done with Raw, when Raw was in a slump, I feel like they were the only good thing that was going on in Raw. They were entertaining to watch. Both Randy Orton is so well, experienced at this point. He knows his way around the ring. And Matt Riddle, he was in UFC, and he knows his way, and he actually works different forms with MMA style as well. So seeing them both in the tag team, it feels like you're watching a singles match, and you keep forgetting, oh wait, Riddle's also tag teaming, and Randy Orton's also tag teaming. And because of that, they don't put on the exact same tag team matches as much tag teams was. They rely on each other. They rely on like what they do on their own. But And of course, their backstage statements is just nothing but hilarious. Just Randy's seriousness, and yes, Matt Riddle's just goofy persona and like trying to have Randy to lighten up, and Randy trying to be a teacher to them. At first, I wasn't one for it. Thought it was just a copy and paste of Team Hell No, but they grew on me. So I kind of just like, I'm going with them because they kind of like do their own single style in the ring, even when tag teaming. And they were probably one of the only best things to watch about Raw when it was in a slump. So controversial pick, RK Bro. That's all I say.
I love it. Last of all, on the tag team 2021 via WrestleSlam, Philip Connolly. Who do you pick?
It actually is it's actually a team that nobody's picked, which is kind of good. But no, I like fun wrestling. I like kind of the dynamic of Jurassic Express because I love them. I think they're really, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
There's a shocker, Phil. An absolute shocker. I'm surprised you didn't come out wearing your dino head.
It's over there. No, but I think I just love the dynamic between the two of them, and they're so different as well.
Jungle Phil.
Yeah, Jungle. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think they're really good, and there is a world tag team title running them. Hopefully.
Oh, definitely.
Next year.
Love it. Good call.
But a special mention though, the Young Bucks have probably been on top of their game, and all their pay-per-view matches are all must see.
I'm going to walk the Young Bucks as well, guys. I think for me, they're absolute workhorses. Very active on Twitter, very active on social media. Like the Usos are brilliant in their way of being in the bloodline, and they've been in some great pay-per-views, which we'll come to next. But obviously, for me, the Young Bucks are out there. Great guys, very, very active with the fans, and I think that's what makes them, the key. And we've seen them in Dublin a couple of years back.
Yeah.
I know they shall be back next year. The rumor is OTT Dublin. The Young Bucks back in the house. That is the big rumor. So hopefully it happens. But yeah, for me, the Young Bucks. So it looks like the Young Bucks are favoring the tag team of the year. Now we are going to go to the big one next. The pay-per-view of 2021. Now, I will mention that it's been a crazy year. There's been a lot of pay-per-views. But I'm going to go to Mr. Philip Connolly first. Phil, what was your pay-per-view of 2021?
I actually think it's got to be Double or Nothing. It really, it was just constant good match after good match after good match.
Yeah.
A lot of people will probably say All Out, but I thought that Double or Nothing was just superior a little bit.
Yeah. Production-wise, it was beautiful. I think the odd surprises and stuff are good as well. No, good call. I don't think many will argue that one, to be fair.
But the special mention as well to, I don't know, not many people would have seen it, but the NWA Women pay-per-view was very good. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah. Really, really good.
Epic. Matt Murphy, what was your pay-per-view of 2021 via WrestleSlam?
Yeah, Phil's got a point. Can you believe that there'll be people out there going with AEW all out? Yeah, I'm going with AEW all out on this one now.
It's like the Eurovision, Ireland 2-4. It's one after another. It just looks like it's AEW dominating already.
Yeah. Wyoming.
Oh, we'll get to more later.
No points.
But of course, I'm going to go with AEW all out. It's because all the matches on that show was just absolutely amazing. Something I actually glued upon. Even on the lowest one, it was Paul White's match, before the main event, was actually something to watch. And it probably had one of the best endings in a professional wrestling pay-per-view. I say we might get to that later, but we all know what it is. I enjoyed. I actually watched all the matches. I didn't even take a break to go to the bathroom. I don't think, or to get food. I was that invested. Yeah. So.
You never told your wee.
I mean, we're wrestling fans. We have to learn how to do that type of disgusting thing. But anyway, so that's me. AEW all out. Weird way to end it. Cheers. So yeah, that's my pay-per-view of the year.
I love it. Mick, no pressure, No pressure at all. Will Ireland get a point on the board, or are we going to go a different direction? What is your pay-per-view of 2021?
So the correct answer to this question is All Out. I can't see how anyone.
Proud, I tell you.
I don't see how anyone could argue. I mean, like, had CM Punk's in-ring return, had the steel cage, which is the correct answer to the best match of the year. It had Adam Cole, joining up with AEW. Had Danielson debuting. It had Kingston versus Mir, which is such an underrated match. I can't believe how underrated it is. I can't believe people don't talk about that match all the time. Yeah, it's gotta be All Out. It's the only pay-per-view that I can think of that comes close to almost perfect. It's probably, I haven't enjoyed a pay-per-view like that since, I'd say, WrestleMania 20, I would say.
Yeah. No, love it. Liz, what was your pay-per-view of 2021?
I went with All Out for all of the obvious reasons that Matt said, so I won't go into it again. But I agree with everything that Matt said. But I would like to give a special shout out as well to wait now. Oh, the card for the Crown Jewel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually good. Yeah, good call. Good call.
Not the thing itself. I mean, it was solid enough, but obviously because of everything that comes with it. But the card for the Crown Jewel, I will give it a nod.
So would I.
And my dad would too.
Amazing.
Jor, what's your pay-per-view 2021?
I'm going to go with Double or Nothing as well, because without
Dad, what?
Dinner's ready.
Can we edit that and start again? Yeah, Double or Nothing for me, only for the fact that if Adam Cole, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk hadn't made their debuts on All Out, it wouldn't have been as talked about. I'm going for Double or Nothing. Because
Double or Nothing also has the best wrestling entrance I've ever seen.
Yeah,
with
all the matches in Double or Nothing were epic. I know somebody said something there about the Paul White's match. Like, I was just like, nah, not a chance. Like, I would just push that under the carpet and never speak about it ever again. Double or Nothing had, from start to finish, it didn't need surprises. Even though we had a couple in the Battle Royale.
You know, also about Sting's match as well. That was something.
Yeah, it didn't need surprises to be a good pay-per-view. Without the returns of CM Punk and the rest of them, nobody was really talking about.
And that three-way match as well was just something. I honestly thought Cassidy could win. I was invested in that. I thought he could win that one.
I love it. I'm gonna sound like a langer because I'm not going all Elite Wrestling. I'm fucking. As I said, I became a softie somewhere along the lines of the last year or so, you know what I mean? But I'm going to go for April 10th, WrestleMania, night one.
Night one.
And obviously night two.
Yeah.
Because of the whole thing, guys, where the storm was there, the wrestlers were put on the spot backstage, the matches were good, the fans were back, it was emotional, it was powerful. I loved it, I stayed up. It's the only pay-per-view I think I stayed up for this year. Yeah, and I shouldn't be saying that out loud, but I think it's the only one I did stay up for. Obviously, I stayed up for the Rumble as well. The Rumble, yeah. So, yeah, I know where you're all coming from. I know you're all giving me daggers and you want to fuck me up.
No.
But I'm going to say WrestleMania, the night one was very special to me because the crowd, I know we were all in the chat talking about it. It just felt really overwhelming. And to me, that was the pay-per-view of the year. Now, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I think.
Oh, but if it makes you feel like a fan again, it's all good.
It did. I just think the way the wrestlers were on the spot, it was pure, real, intense. You could see they were being dragged in for promos. We didn't know if it was going to happen. Kevin Owens gave some serious speech backstage. I just thought it was brilliant. So that was my pick, without a doubt. Right. Now, we are going to go to a couple of these. Obviously, we have... best, worst. I'm going to go to the worst pay-per-view of the year. So,
one and everybody agreed.
WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh, Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's my pick.
WWE.
Shocking.
WrestleMania Backlash.
WWE normal rules. Oh, wait, Extreme Rules. Not normal rules.
Yeah, normal rules. Yeah, exactly. WWE rules. Pretty much that was it. There was nothing else going on.
Don't say WWE rules.
Nick, you have one?
Extreme Rules for me as well.
Short and sweet. I think we were all fast on that one. So we are going to go to a big one. Obviously, we have Feud. That's going to be up in a sec. But I'm going to go to the male wrestler of the year via WrestleSlam team. So Philip Connolly, who was your wrestler of 2000?
A shout out to Josh Alexander, because this year has been just so good for him. But you can't go past Roman Reigns.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, you can.
Roman Reigns.
He's too good, yeah.
Yeah, he's had a good year.
Yeah.
Good year. Matt Murphy, who do you pick, my man?
You won't believe this. Copy and paste. I'm gonna say Roman Reigns as well. He's pretty much carried WWE for a good while, and we just like all the matches he's done. Whoever he puts in front of him, you think, is this time we lose the title? But he kept going through it. You kind of root for him as a face, even though he's a heel, and you kind of go along this journey this whole year with him. So it's been a good year with Roman Reigns. So we, myself and Phil, so far acknowledges him. So Roman Reigns.
I love it. Mick, who was your wrestler of the year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
It's got to be Kenny Omega. I mean, AAA champ, TNA champ, Impact champ, AEW champ. Every single person on that roster's best match is with Kenny Omega. He is the best bout machine, and he did it all with about 6 injuries throughout the year. So it's got to be Kenny Omega.
Love it. Lizzie, no pressure. Who is your selected pick of 2021 via male wrestler of the year?
Do you know, I wrote down like 3 different ones and scribbled out 3 different ones, and then wrote again and then scribbled again, because this one really got me. So I'm undecided, because I could take Roman for reasons, Kenny for reasons. For me, nobody had it all. I don't know how to explain that any better. Kenny needed a bit of Roman, because for me, Impact didn't work. That whole thing for me, I didn't feel it at all. But I just felt that Roman could have done with a bit of Kenny. Kenny could have done with a bit of Roman. And then as a complete alternate, I threw in Miro as well. Random as it is, but I did. But he was missing the gold. So if you put them all in to the bowl, mixed them up, you'd get a lovely cake out the oven. So it was just each of them were kind of missing a little bit of it. So undecided. Yeah.
I love it. People are going to fucking ask in a couple of months, did you pick? I think, but undecided is a beautiful thing, because it makes people wonder. Some people will be having these tea and coffee at work tomorrow. I fucking wonder what Liz is thinking. Do you know what I mean? That's what's going to happen. I love it.
They want to know what my dad thinks. That's what they want to know.
Your dad looks like he's ready to wrestle. I'd say he'd fuck Walter up big time, 100%, and Roman and John Cena, the whole lot of them.
My mum would.
But yeah, Jor, it's been a good year. Look, and it's been a bad year, but we've seen a lot. We've seen Roman obviously shine. Omega has been immense. Walter has shined. There's been so many names to mention, but do you have a pick for 2021 for the Wrestling Ballon d'Or?
It's none of them. I'm going to go for Bryan Danielson / Daniel Bryant. He had a brilliant run up in WWE for the first 5 months of the year. He's had some, he headlined WrestleMania. His match against Roman, singles match after that was besides the pay-per-view being shit, it was a great match. He left the WWE. A few months later, he shows up in AEW, and ever since he's been there, he's been having a great match with everybody on the card. Anybody he can get his hands on, he just wants to wrestle with him. I've always said it. He's the most selfless wrestler on the planet. He'll put anybody over if he suffered shit in WWE before he actually made it. He's on the boat now where he wants to get as many of these smaller wrestlers over as possible while he can, before he actually has to retire. So he's not holding back either. Like everybody said, he went to when he went to AEW, he's still injured and he may hold back, and he can't have these high spot matches, and he's not holding back. I don't think he's going to beat Hangman this week for the title, but I think it's going to be one of Hangman's best ever matches. So for me, Bryan Danielson all day long.
I agree, and that's my pick as well. Just given the whole work ethic, he's come into All Elite Wrestling. People didn't know if he'd wrestle or they know if he'd be active, but he's wrestling every week. His matches are good. He's saying no to he's not a no man. He's a yes man. I think if they're asking him, do you want to wrestle this guy, that guy, he's all for it. And as you say, he's not really had any bad matches since he's that transition from WWE to All Elite Wrestling, we didn't think it was going to happen. It happened.
Yeah, but he was so over as well when he joined AEW, and for him to be actually just turn heel on a flip of a coin, like, and just like that, people started booing him. Like, it's very hard to get that kind of heat, straight away. But he's doing it. I'm presuming he's going to turn face again after this match is over. Like, but what he's doing right now.
The thing is, like, nobody actually said MJF, which is kind of surprising.
He hasn't had many matches this year. He doesn't wrestle.
I know, yeah, but like you think, like, it's Bob. Obviously, it's the bad booking that's kind of destroyed him, because he can go in the ring when he really wants to.
Yeah.
He'll be a contender next year,
Definitely.
No doubt.
He'll be champion. By this time next year, we're talking he'll have won the title in AEW.
He may win an award yet, though, guys, via WrestleSlam. I think promo. There'll be a couple of MJFs mentioned on promos, but
let's go for it. So.
Okay, guys, we come to Female Wrestler of the Year. So some great opinions via Male of the Year, and almost a clean sweep. But we had some different opinions, which is always the way on WrestleSlam, which is why we're all kind of separated sometimes. So Female of the Year. It's been a good year for a lot of females. It has been perhaps the year of the females. There's a lot more recognition. We know Stephanie McMahon was trying a lot more, but they need to bring back more female-only pay-per-views. We did have one, which was great, Phil. So, first of all, who is your Female Wrestler of the Year via WrestleSlam 2021?
I think Britt Baker is the obvious choice. But yeah. I'm actually going to say Serena, because all her matches just have all been amazing. Every single match Serena has had. Loved all her matches with Shida. And now she's healed. She's got more of a personality, so hopefully she can shine more.
Love it.
I would say Serena.
Love it. Mick, female, there's been a lot of matches. There's been a lot of controversy. We've seen Becky and Charlotte had a bit fit backstage recently as well. They nearly fucking reefed each other around the arena. That was the rumor. Don't know that it actually happened. I'd love to see that actually really happen. Jake Paul versus Logan Paul, and then Becky versus Charlotte. That'd be a great pay-per-view for really happening. Bare knuckle style. Limerick versus Charlotte. So, who is your Female Wrestler of the Year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
This was tough for Mick, but this was very tough for Mick.
It was. So just bear with me, guys, for a second, okay?
There's a bear with you?
Don't break any hearts on me, because I know a lot of females.
Just bear with me. Charlotte Flair is undoubtedly the best wrestler in the world, and is probably the best wrestler every year, best female every year.
Agree.
But she's not my winner this year. Special mention to I know.
Gee, I thought she was a shoo-in.
It was under serious consideration.
Charlotte's on the phone by 2 seconds. Charlotte can't know.
Oh my God.
I
think the sun came up.
She left Andrea Feud as well. Like, for fuck's sake.
I love how we're being.
It's all right, we'll send the deal. It's fine.
I love how we're being very sarcastic. Charlotte Flair. No. Oh, really? Didn't know that. But it's not her. Wait, what? So we went from sarcastic to gender.
No, she's not my Female Wrestler of the Year. She's just a female wrestler of my heart.
Charlotte Stone.
So a special mention to Serena Deeb, because she's just an amazing wrestler. She should be wrestling every single week. I don't know why we get Tay Conti all the time when we have Serena Deeb available. Yeah. She should be wrestling every single week. But for me, it's got to be Bianca Belair. Has to be. Royal Rumble winner. She has the longest time in the match from any female, with 56 minutes and 52 seconds. She's the first black wrestler to win the Rumble since The Rock in 2000. She shares the most eliminations in the females Royal Rumble with Shayna Baszler. She won the title at Mania. She was the sole survivor at Survivor Series, and she's the only person to win a Survivor Series match with being the last person against 4 opponents. So she's a record breaker. She's a trailblazer. It's gotta be Bianca Belair.
Love it. 100% love it. Absolutely love it. Good call. Matt Murphy.
Sorry, Charlotte.
Oh. Don't get your feelings in the way in Wrestle Podcast now, Mick.
Hard.
Matt, who'd you have, my man?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bianca Belair definitely has an honorable mention. This might be an obvious one, but I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Britt Baker. Going for her because she's definitely one of the not just top female wrestlers, but probably one of the top wrestlers in AEW at the moment. And she's definitely, I would say, one of the faces of AEW. So when we have like wrestling fans tuning into AEW for the first time, they're gonna get to see Britt Baker do what she does, and they'll be focusing on the women's side, the female side of AEW, and her as world champion is like seems like she's right on her. They're treating it the exact same way they would do with the AEW world title, like whoever holds it is unstoppable. And of course, with Britt Baker as the women's champion, she looks like she is definitely unstoppable. Any matches that she put in, she actually makes sure that she makes the other person look good, and make her look good even if she loses in a non-title match. And of course, her promo work with Ruby Soho, probably one of the best promos in AEW, one of the best statements. So she can hold herself in the promo, hold herself well in the ring. And obvious pick, but that's just me. Dr. Britt Baker, me.
Good call. Joe Rush, who is your pick for female wrestler of the year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
Bianca Belair as well. I can't say any more about what Mick said. Everything he said, that's the reason I'm picking her. So short and sweet, definitely her all day long.
Love it. Now, our only lady, the lady that's taken over Cork and the world via the Quiz with Liz, and the host, she's had an incredible year here at WrestleSlam. Liz, who was your female pick of the year? This is the one that matters because you had a female on the podcast, and the other one, I mean, that's, you always say how it is. So I'm looking forward to hearing this and the in-depth pick. Why?
It's me. I'm the female of the year. So there. I'm just kidding. I'm not really. Just, I absolutely agree with Mick and with himself too. Has to be the EST of absolutely everything, because everything that Mick said, I have listed. And just to add to that as well, right? We forget that Bianca Belair was called up in 2020 to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like just not long over 12 months. She's up like what? She up 16 months now? As Mick said, she's won the Royal Rumble, joined on the number of eliminations. She's won the title at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? A main event, you know what I mean? WrestleMania, and we will just completely slide over whatever that log happened at SummerSlam. And as well as Survivor Series, like Soul Survivor, it's actually like, I can't think of, I know they're obvious choices, but I can't think of anyone else who has had such a year than her. Like there's so much packed into this year, and I really, really hope that she's just going to keep building and go from strength to strength, and one day match me for female of the year. Yeah, as she aspires to be, I'm sure.
It's absolute box office,
Right?
Liz versus Bianca Belair, what a match. WrestleMania.
Oh man, I'd show her a plat, I tell you, I'd show her a plat.
.ie and StubHub.com. All fantastic picks, and I truly agree. I'm going to give a special mention to Mandy Ross, just for what she's done in NXT. She's really transformed herself. New look. I think she's actually done in ring. She's done quite good, actually. I will say that. There's not many critics. A lot of applause for Mandy Ross. But I have to agree, Bianca Belair for me, 2021 female wrestler of the year.
I'm going to say 2022 is the year of Bayley.
Yeah, and I think maybe Thunder Rosa as well.
Yeah,
100% Thunder Rosa. Yeah, 100%.
I say Bayley's going to be a Royal Rumble winner when it comes round.
If she comes back,
yeah,
she's not dropping that Rumble.
Oh no, but we've talked about before. We're on about Bayley and Becky is the only match they can do. Like so. Yeah,
no, it does make perfect sense, a match like that. So yeah, interesting times ahead. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of it, and they are our female picks of the year. So we've got through obviously male, female wrestler of the year, tag team, or match. Best and worst pay-per-views, we kind of flew through the worst. It was easy enough to pick them. So I'm going to go quickly, guys, to promo of the year. Promo. So it's been a lot of promos.
Yeah.
We're going to tease that debut towards the end. That's always a nice thing to keep towards the end. But promo of the year, Philip Connolly. What would be your promo of the year? This is the one where we all have to think. This is something we really have to think about. Because
I had to really go back and have a think about it. I actually going to say Edge on the lead up to WrestleMania. I think it was a SmackDown 2 weeks before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Edge and he did it as well the year before against Randy Orton. There's just something about Edge just knows how to get it going and get things right.
He looks right inside you. That's the thing with Edge. When you hear him
Yeah.
on a mic, he's really looking inside you.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I know I'm quickly changing the subject, but his entrance when he came back out in the Brood music was fucking epic against Seth Rollins.
But no, it
SummerSlam-
just made the match even more special than it was, and the match was great. So
It was real though, wasn't it? He felt
Yeah,
real
exactly.
because
exactly.
Daniel Bryan at the time was in the match that he wanted, like, and
Yeah.
I think he was actually from the heart. He was like, "Fuck this prick! Like, why is he in my match?" Like,
And a special mention to the Hangman Page promo as well. A few weeks ago.
I love it. Joe Rush, look, you're a promo man yourself. You know, you cut great promos as always. Tell me, I think you do. I don't think anyone's going to disagree. You're solid. You know what I mean? You're smart when it comes to Twitter. You're always on the upper hand when it comes to the views and getting us our followers. So, what is your promo of the year 2021?
I'm gonna have to go with Moose after he won the Impact title. That promo that he called out everybody, giving digs to all the promotions, certain wrestlers in that promo, like, and for him to do that and not being involved, like, the way the Impact title's been involved with AEW for so long, like, now that it's just back to Impact again, he had to make a stance and show the this is our promotion. It's not, Kenny Omega's gone and we don't need anybody else to show you what we can do. And that promo has just stood out for me. After when I was thinking of them, I was going to look through them, but it was the first one that came to my mind over all of them. That was the one that stood out for me.
Yeah, remember it well. Lizzie, what was your promo of the year? There's been so many. Obviously, look, a lot of people talk shite backstage on camera and in the ring, but we've seen a lot of good stuff this year. What was your take and who was your best promo 2021?
Mine's not an obvious choice. I know, come here, look, it was extreme. You said there was loads. It was extremely difficult to pick something because there was just so many. But every time Miro cut a promo on God, I loved it. I thought Miro really came into his own this year. I really, really do. I was worried when he was playing video games, and hanging around with best friends for the wedding, but my God, did that man shine this year when it came to promos. I was invested and I was like, who else could cut a promo on a God, you know what I mean? And just be so serious with it and just make me laugh, but have me invested all at the same time. A special shout out, an honorable mention, shall we say, to the last promo before SummerSlam in August between Roman Reigns and John Cena as well, #missionary. So I would give that one a shout out too, because I thought that was quite cool.
Love it. Good take. Matt Murphy, promo of the year 2021, please.
Yeah, there's so many, but this fella cut so many promos that it's hard for me to pick which one's which. Gonna have to go with MJF, lads. I think the one promo that his promo before facing against Chris Jericho, just like insulting Chris Jericho about his what to do next if he would have lose the match and has to leave professional wrestling, and of course MJF calling out almost the entire Pillman family. It was that moment where we thought this fella knows no bounds. He's gonna go out there and say, how am I gonna just piss off this entire crowd? And he just does that. And of course,
he put his sister, Pillman's sister, went into labor after, didn't she? She actually went into labor because of it.
My asked to give my sister a call.
God. And I think his promo against CM Punk. I know, fella, you're not one, but you have to say that was pretty much an amazing promo, something to watch. So I think MJF, I know I'm going to be cheating, but pretty much every time he's out there and whatever he's going to promo he's going to cut, you're just going to make him want to hate him even more. Especially promo against Darby Allin about how he's going to win with just a headlock. Yeah, I'm going to go with MJF, pretty much all of his promos in AEW this year. So that's who I'm going to go for.
Love it. Mick, we're going to save the best for last via promo. Who is your promo of the year? It could be a female, could be a male. 2021, who's your pick?
Yeah, this is for me, this is the hardest one to pick. Like as Matt said, the Punk MJF one was really good. I was going to pick it, but I didn't. I felt like if I was picking, it was just because it was the freshest one in my memory. And the only thing I had against that promo was the fact that they were it very much felt like they were setting each other up with each take on it. You know, so it didn't really feel too natural, but it was really good nonetheless. Obviously Edge's promos are always really, really good, but I'm gonna go with Kingston and CM Punk
on Rampage.
It was the one where Punk wanted Kingston to come out and apologize.
Yeah.
And he comes out and it was just so real. Kingston's always so real in his promos. I think he's probably the best promo guy in that company apart from Punk. It was just brilliant. Just the way he brought up his mental health, how he's a little bit fat. Punk retorting that he was a bum. Just the way it built and built and built. I love the body language in that promo as well. When they started with it very far apart from each other, and as it got more, and as Punk said something, Kingston started getting more into his face. Like I just loved everything about it, and of course it led to them going for the match as well. That's my pick, Punk and Kingston.
Absolutely call it, and I love it. It's a good pick. So a lot of mixed picks, which is good. It's very hard to remember promos sometimes. Like you're only going to remember a good promo if it's good. To me, I think Edge definitely with the whole Rollins feud. There was some great promos there. Kingston obviously and Punk for me stood out. It was kind of fresh in the mind as well. But yeah, I'm going to go for Edge. I just think Edge is intense. He's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers. I absolutely love the man, and I think seeing him back on kind of like a part-time basis. Obviously, he's still kind of active and stuff. For me, you know what I mean. That's one of the greatest comebacks of all time. When he did come back a couple of years back, but it's I'm going to pick Edge 2021 promo of the year via Seth Rollins and leading up to that match. Right, lads, debut. So like, you know what I mean? We know there's guys that debuted in different companies, but we're going to go debut. So like, you know what I mean? Someone that's come, could be from another organization, doesn't necessarily matter. Could be someone that just came out of the blue, but Phil, who is your debut of the year 2021? Now, a lot of viewers will be watching this because there was a lot of good debuts this year.
There was, but like, honestly, I'm going to say Malachi Black. Mainly because I did not see that coming, and then nobody knew that he was 30-day thing.
Yeah.
And just watching it unfold, watching it was like, holy shit, like.
Yeah, he was unbelievable, and in that moment, I think he obviously had a lot of time in NXT and obviously main roster. But in that one moment, he actually fucking done more than he did.
But the problem is like the booking of it, we won't talk about it now, but the spitting in the face and all that nonsense. It's just nonsense.
Yeah. So Malachi Black was your debut.
Malachi Black, yeah.
Love it. Lizzie, who was your debut of the year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
Same as Phil for exactly the same reasons. Nobody knew it was coming. We were all on WrestleSlam when all of the releases happened earlier in the year, and then like everybody thought, dear God, Christ, it's Aleister Black, FKA. But like, and I think then because he was on his Twitch stream and he was just like, so happy to be alive and everything was so great and there was no like, animosity, and he was thanking everybody, and boom, he turned up in AEW, and I think we were all just like, what? And for me, that's a debut that, I know that sometimes I like my debuts to be unexpected too. I know now that like the world and its mother and the dogs on the street knew that CM Punk was coming. Do you know what I mean? But like that for me, that was my favorite debut of the year because I didn't know about it.
Love it. Are we going to make it 3 in a row? Joe Rush, who was your debut of the year 2021?
I'm not going to be 3 in a row. Stop peeking. I'm going to have to go for Bryan Danielson again, debuting on AEW. It was, people thought it was, knew it was going to happen. Like, we knew he was coming to AEW at some stage, like, but to come out straight after Adam Cole, like, that kind of blew everybody away, because when Adam Cole came out there, that was it. That was the end of the pay-per-view. Everyone saying, oh my God, he's going to, and then he side up with Omega in the Bucks, and like, oh, this is it. This is how they're closing it. And then his music hit, and the place went absolutely spastic. And and he's shined ever since. Like, he's had matches, like I said before, he's had amazing matches. So it lived up to hype again. So Bryan Danielson.
Good call. Matt Murphy, who was your debut of the year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
No, I would agree with Jer with Bryan Danielson about how perfect that debut was. It was all out Adam Cole showed up. We literally thought that was the end of it. But of course, Bryan Danielson showed up. We were like, oh, we forgot. He got signed. He's in AEW now. So that's an honorable mention. But this is going to be a bit random of me. But then again, this debut was a bit random. I'm going to go with the game changer debut of Matt Condola.
Yeah, good pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah. When he comes out in the ring and he was moving around like John Moxley and he took out Nick Cage and everyone thought it was Moxley, and then he took off the hood. It was Matt Condola. I saw this on Twitter and I thought, wait, what? Is that Zack Ryder? What? I just thought that's the most randomest thing I've ever seen. There was no build-up. He just randomly just showed up to a death match arena. And people compared it to Jerry Lawler showing up to AEW. So I just thought that was completely random, but yet that's what made it so brilliant. So for me, Matt Condola showing up to Game Changer Wrestling. That's my.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's good. That was outside the box. I think no one expected it, and that's a good pick. When you said it, it kind of clicked. I was like, yeah, that's a good pick. Mick, what was your debut of the year 2021 via WrestleSlam?
It's an emotional pick. My pick is for my all-time favorite wrestler, CM Punk, debuting on AEW. It'd be remiss not to mention that at least once on this show, because it was a moment in time. It was just amazing. I know the best debuts are the ones that aren't expected, and everybody kind of half knew that CM Punk was coming up that night, but the anticipation I felt for that was just like nothing else. And then when that music hit, man, and that crowd reaction, and he walks out, it was just nearly out. It was to have been there would have been like a nearly outer body experience. Probably arguably one of the most important wrestlers in the last decade, maybe the last 2 decades, to return after 7 years. You just can't get better than that, man. And to a rival promotion, you can't get better than that.
Yeah, no, Punk is my pick. I always recall watching it not long after it happened. And then my fiance, then she looked at me stupid for like an hour because I watched it like 8 times in a row. And
yeah, same.
Sometimes people don't understand why you watch something 8 times in a row, but you just do it. And then you come back to it like an hour later and watch it again. Then you watch it the next day. The same thing you keep watching over and over again for about a week or two. So yeah, I think Punk coming back for me was great. I didn't think it was going to happen, but the way they did it at the start of the show was incredible. I love the way they don't wait till last minute. They actually, let's get on with it and do it. It was incredible to see him back. I have been impressed with Punk since he has come back, and I think there's a lot more to come next year. I think they're playing it safe for the first kind of chapter. I think next year we're going to see a lot more via Punk, and that is my pick as well. So all fantastic picks via debut of the year. Now we have a couple of more categories we're quickly going to get through. So obviously male, female wrestler of the year. We had the debut, the tag team. We had the promo, best pay-per-view. So are we going to go for? We didn't do a match yet, did we?
Yeah,
we did a match.
We did match, yeah.
Feud. Sorry. Feud, my bad. Feud. So, Phil, what is your feud of the year 2021? And I have an idea. I think I know who you're going to pick.
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
I think so too.
Jungle Express versus everybody.
100%.
So I actually really, really enjoyed a lot, only except for 1 or 2 weeks. Inner Circle versus Pinnacle.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. No, I really did. No, I wouldn't Jungle Express not in enough feuds. It's just
Jurassic Express.
Yeah. There you go.
I love it. Lizzie, what was your feud of the year 2021?
I was a fan of that one as well. That was on my short list. But for me, and I'm looking at this with an overview of all aspects of a feud, I am going with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Because it has everything. It's not just the wrestling, it's the build. Could you believe this is only going on since August of this year, and it feels like a hell of a lot longer, but this is probably one of the most best directed, produced, choreographed, and timed feud that WWE has done in a very, very long time, because feuds don't always work very well for them, and if so, they hammer the living shit out of them until there's literally nothing left. They just walk the shoe into the ground. But for this, I'm still invested in what's going to happen, and they're keeping me guessing. And like Brock getting suspended, and then like the $1 million fine or whatever, and he's back just a couple of weeks later. He's not off screen for 3 months to go and go moose hunting, which I think is hilarious, and grow a little bit more of his bun. But for me, that's what I have been the most invested in this year. Yeah, to be honest with you.
Brock's just been fun as well.
Yeah.
It has one of the most scariest moments in professional wrestling this year. Happy Brock Lesnar.
Amazing. I love face Brock Lesnar. I absolutely love him. I think he's hilarious. He doesn't need anybody. He could talk for Ireland. He's fab.
Nice flip phone as well. Jor, what was your feud of the year?
I'm going to have to go with Cameron Grimes and LA Knight on NXT. I've loved Cameron Grimes since he debuted in NXT, and this is one of the last feuds of the old NXT brand before. So it had everything. It had the ladder match. It had the $1 million title. It had Ted DiBiase involved for a few weeks involved. You got to see his music or hear his music and listen to his laugh again.
Wasn't Scotty Too Hotty's daughter involved in something as well?
What?
Wanted to play basketball or something.
Possibly. Oh well, there's a few people involved in it, all right. But overall, they had 3 or 4. I think it was 3 matches in the end up. So they had a normal match, they had the $1 million title match, and then to finish it all off, Cameron eventually got the title at the end, only to be screwed over by Ted DiBiase, who gave him a fake belt and left with the real one instead. So it was so entertaining, and it was kind of the curtain closing on the old NXT brand as well before 2.0 started up. So for me, it was kind of a poetic way to close off what NXT used to be.
Yeah.
Love it. Matt Murphy, what was your feud of the year, my man?
You know what? I actually mentioned this in the very first ever Matt Fact, and I'm going to bring it back. End it in a positive note. Going to have to go with Kenny versus Adam Hangman Page rivalry. I just love them for all the right reasons. These lads actually started off in AEW together. They became a tag team, and of course they later broke up. And they just Adam Hangman Page went off, came back, and he was faced Kenny Omega for the AEW Championship. I just felt like it was so right. It was just like a long time build, even before the year of 2021, and they ended the match so well with Adam Hangman Page being the one to beat Kenny Omega's title run, and because these two know each other so well, they tag team each other, they traveled with each other, they became friends for so long. They put on an amazing match, put on an amazing rivalry. So I stand by that. Best rivalry of this year for me, definitely Kenny Omega versus Adam Hangman Page. I can see this going back on again in another within 2020. This Kenny Omega becoming a face because he and Adam Hangman Page is a face. And they just like face each other as two faces because we already know who they are, then how well they can work with each other. So get away with that. That's my rivalry of the year. So it is.
Mick, what's your one, my man?
I went with Punk and Kingston again.
Yeah.
I don't think as I was going to pick Hangman Page and Kenny Omega as well, but I didn't based on the fact that it's kind of been going for a couple of years now. So I went with one that was just specific to this year. I went with Punk and Kingston because they just show that you don't need to have long-term builds in order for it to be a really good feud. I mean, it was only like 3 or 4 weeks, the whole thing. It was simple, it was short, it was very easy to invest in it. Primarily because of the great promos that were involved. It was a great match in the end, and the finish was just perfect with Punk extending his hand and Kingston just rolling out of the ring and leaving the rivalry open to being revisited in the future. So that's my pick.
Yeah, I'm going to quickly mention mine. Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Right, on to the next question. I liked it.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming. What was that?
Yeah, I like Goldberg. And yeah, Bobby. Two
But that's-
fucking absolute belters. And I think the second match was good. Goldberg could have made up for some botches over the months and years. So yeah, I'm gonna say, look, Goldberg and Bobby. I think nobody fucks with Goldberg's family. Simple as. And Bobby got it in the end, and that was that. So yeah, look.
Just to say to Liz, that sound effect was me being disappointed with Jerry. So let's move on.
Look, as you get older, shit starts to happen to your mind and your body and your emotions, and you cry when you're eating cake and fucking this and that. And look, you'll see someday when you get to my age, you'll understand, right? And,
hello.
well, look, you're only babas.
What?
You're only babas.
I'm fucking 40,
mentally, you're still in your 20s. I'm at 50.
I'm at 12.
I love it. Right, lads, I'm going to put one more thing out there, right? So, this is a topic we all could have spoke about. So, I'm going to drop it nicely. We have about 5 minutes, right? So, the biggest fuck up of the year when it comes to a wrestler.
Botch.
What company? We'll do the Botch as well.
I think we all agree on the one that will be it.
Which one's that?
The
Barbed wire death match.
Yeah, the death match.
I have a different one.
Me too.
Right, so I'm going to say
quickly, go through.
The little fart explosion that went off was pretty epic. Fucking, I'll always remember that. Phil, are you death match?
Yeah, the death match. Yeah, the death match.
Yeah.
And also Keith Lee being released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death match for me too. Death match.
Liz?
Me hole!
Nia Jax.
Love it. Matt?
Carrying Cross's bold look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick.
Nick?
I had a couple that I was thinking about. I originally thought when JR was like, "Good night and thank you for watching WWE Dynamite." That was a good one.
WWE champion. It was another funny one.
Yeah. I also had the Karrion Kross one down as well. But my botch of the year is NXT 2.0.
Ooh, nice.
And quickly, right? I'm only going to mention one company, WWE. What was their biggest fuck up in regards to releasing or not using a wrestler properly? Phil?
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee?
Yeah, Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, yes?
Oh, Keith Lee, Malachi Black, Karrion Kross, Scarlett. How long do I have left? I could keep going. Way too many, but yes, agreed.
Love it. Matt?
I might be cheating here, but the worst release they got of someone they barely used was Bray Wyatt. Probably the most creative mind in professional wrestling, and they booked him so poorly, and they released him. That was just me being done with the company. I'm like, well, you just got rid of probably the most creative, talented wrestler you have. What the fuck, lads? So Bray Wyatt for me.
Yeah. Nick, what's your take on man?
Yeah, Keith Lee. Or no, Bearcat Lee.
Yeah, they really dropped the fucking ball. Like for a guy that was so big and so athletic and that could do so much in a ring, they did not showcase his potential.
Which is why I'm delighted Gargano decided to walk away.
100%.
So far.
We're going to see a lot more as well. A lot more.
I don't think he can, but anyway.
I think things we have to quickly mention, obviously, NXT, the real NXT. We're going to miss that, obviously. We're sorry that Triple H had some issues. And look, there was a takeover. And look, there was a lot of shit happening in the back. And I don't know if NXT 2.0 will ever replicate. Well, it won't replicate what NXT done. No. But that is a sad moment in the wrestling. Obviously, Ring of Honor, guys, we're all sad to see Ring of Honor is no longer with us. There was a great pay-per-view over the weekend. And Seth Martina, it'll be great to see what her next move will be. Highlights, obviously, Phoenix Wrestling, Cork, Limerick. The quiz with Liz absolutely dominated Limerick and absolutely fucking smashed Cork. I mean, it was surreal. We look forward to what's announced next. There was talks in January. This pandemic and all this fucking restriction needs to fuck off, stay away, let us shine, let us be us. Do you know what I mean? Take a leaf out of Boris's book in a way, not all the leaves, we'll take one little leaf. Be a bit braver. Do you know what I mean? Let shit happen. It's something that we have to live with. If you're vaccinated, if you're not vaccinated, look, it doesn't fucking matter. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So get on with it and let us all have our freedom. We will be back next year. Little revamp. There's going to be a lot of changes. via production. So we're going to have a good year next year. As always, check out all our stuff on the WrestleSlam podcast, the new channel. Obviously, halfway through the year, we switched from the Sports Matters YouTube channel. It was a bit brave, but it's worked out. Over almost 20,000 views, which is good on a new channel. So quickly, Phil, do you have anything to say to all the subscribers, the followers?
Everyone have a great Christmas, and we look forward to bringing more content next year.
Love it. Lizzie?
Same as, definitely. Get AEW over to Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
Waiting for the Royal Rumble. And hopefully from our new home, we'll be joining you the next time. And not my mom's basement. #WrestlingFan.
I love it. Joe Rush, it's been a great year.
I'm gonna give this one to Mick. Here's somebody who wants to give a shout out to watch for next year. Go for it, Mick. Who do you want to go?
The man to watch next year is the man himself. The hair that gravity forgot. It's got to be Hook, man. It's got to be Hook. Hook for AEW champion. He's got to be AEW champion next year. It's got to happen. Book it. Book it.
I love it.
100%.
Matt, what do you want to say to all the fans?
If you've been watching us from the beginning or just joining us now, just know you are a ledge and stay a ledge. Merry Christmas.
And from
Follow
myself,
us on Twitter.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Twitter is the way forward. Twitter is all that matters. WrestleSlam podcast via Slam Wrestle. Joe's behind that. Fucking absolute genius when it comes to Twitter and the interactions. We're going to have a lot more people on with us next year as well, and we're going to have a lot of interactions. We're going to go on to the podcasts, and hopefully we have some news. But guys, thank you very much. Have a great Christmas, and we will see you very soon.
Bye, guys.
Ta-ra. All right.
Bye.
Cool.